The When I Grow Up project was possible from funding from the Department of Rural and Community Development and the European Social Fund through SICAP, which is the Social Inclusion and Community Activation Project, which is regulated by Pobal. We sourced other agencies and funding through Coca-Cola Ireland's Thank You Fund and Poetry Ireland. This year we rolled out the When I Grow Up project under Goal 1 for capacity building and Goal 2 for supporting educational success in school-aged children and supporting access to employment. The aim of the overall project is creative writing through the concept of what the young people want to be when they grow up, through career guidance, to redesign their life and shape it, looking for possibilities that were overlooked, or maybe the question was never asked to them, what do they want to be when they grow up?
They mightn't have the knowledge or the understanding about who they are as a person. So the career guidance, the process, it gives them time to reflect on, who they are as a person.
There was a resistance at the start for the young people, that they were sitting on the edge.
This was different. This was their own individual project.
But after the rapport was built with the creative writer and the guidance practitioner, there was trust.
When they started seeing that they were in charge of it and they had a voice, then they started to use their voice more, and they started to really fight for the input that they wanted, that they saw.
So creativity gives the young person space to redesign their lives.
It was really good. Jeff was great for helping and mentoring on what to improve and how to improve. And then from doing it, I've stayed in touch with Jeff and continued to creatively write.
Trying to be relevant, I suppose, for the young people was the initial challenge. With the younger people, it was to kind of get their trust first and to show them that I actually know what I'm doing.
I think I had said the name, I said 3 posh girl names, because it was the whole, we were saying at the start, it's Greece, with the whole bad fella, good girl thing sort of thing. And we went with that type of idea, but I came up with the idea, and then I think Cian came up with the whole posh girl thing, so that's how it kind of happened.
The challenges were first picking the idea of what we wanted to do, because we all had different ideas, and then we all had to come to a compromise with the songs, with who was to play what part, what tricks we should do, and what styles, locking. We got to do that. We all agreed on that.
I suppose I see myself more as a facilitator than as a teacher. That I'm there to show what's going on. I like to put the person at the centre of the learning.
Yeah, it was really helpful and gave space during the sessions to write, and I was also open to looking at any stuff you wrote while, during the week when you weren't in the session, you'd look at it then during the session as well.
I like getting stuff down on the page, stuff that's in my head now, and I've done creative writing stuff now before, but I feel it's a good kind of thing to get into a headspace.
The most enjoyable part was probably creating the ideas and having Jeff around to have a laugh with, and just to experience something new. That's what I like.
So the purpose of the guidance session as part of the When I Grow Up programme was to get the young people, I suppose, to reflect firstly on the process of taking part in the When I Grow Up programme.
We know that creativity allows people to be freer in thinking, to deal with anxiety better, to refocus their life in a new direction.
And if you can get them to think about what they like, they might be able to see that the transferability of their interests and their likes to different environments, work environments that might suit them.
I thought it was nice that there was a support there, so that it didn't just finish. It wasn't just it's done now. So it was nice to have somebody there that was able to give them a bit of advice.
The career guidance was really good, and I ended up learning about the travel grant that's available with the partnership.
When they experience a challenge, You know, it could be, say, if they go on to college or whatever, trying to get a job, they can even draw on their experience of the When I Grow Up programme and be like, okay, I experienced a challenge then, but if there was a success, I still put myself out there.
I have a tendency of like going off track, and I'll be like, oh, do I actually want this? Oh, I don't think I want this. Like, that's a crap thing about me, but like the guidance like that I've been getting, it kind of puts me back on to the main goal, and like doing the whole stage thing over in the Axis, that's putting me straight back onto it, because it's like I'm able to do it in front of an audience, I'm able to do it in front of people, and it makes me feel like I have the confidence to do it.
The group guidance session was like really good. I had no idea what I was coming into. I've always knew what I wanted to do, but I've like never had it like properly set in place. Like, that's what I want to do, but like now I know.
Hopefully I'm going to college now tomorrow, and I'm going to be going down to the Liberties to do a full year of acting, a big acting course, like, and hopefully after I'm done that I'm going to try getting into an agency, or even book small roles or something, get a show reel started and then go to an agency.
It was clarifying things for me, like making sure like what I wanted to do was what I wanted to do. I want to be a teacher.
Yes, I'm studying community and youth studies in Maynooth at the minute. Definitely want to do more creative writing and use it in college with my class, and maybe when I'm on placement, and then when I go out into the field of youth work as well.
You're believing in them the whole time, you know what I mean? Like, you're really like, I know you can do this, I know you can do this. Like, letting them kind of explore for a while, and then being able to just guide them in a route and be like, actually, you're deadly. Here's what you can do.
It was actually grand. I wasn't nervous around it. I was feeling a bit excited coming towards the breakdown that we were on after the break, but there was no real nerves.
Like, people there that we don't know, and it's like not our show. So I was a bit nervous to like mess up something or something, because it would impact the show and we didn't want to like make something wrong. So I felt like pressured.
It's important to run projects like this so people can have a social, cultural and civic opportunity to be engaging in their community.
It was deadly. I was nervous and I didn't really think I was going to do good, and then like I went on stage and I couldn't really see anybody because the lights were blinding me. So I was like, oh, it's like just rehearsals. So I was doing it like the way I would in rehearsals, and I feel like I kind of got it down. It was good.
I've like always performed and I love it, and I was a bit nervous because it was like our first ever thing, not doing it with our dance school, like people there that we don't know.
Because you have to try and keep each other's energy level up and make sure that everyone knows what's happening and that everyone feels safe and comfortable in that space to do the lines and make a good performance.
Essentially, each young person who took part in that programme, in the When I Grow Up programme, they essentially got out of their comfort zone. Even if they're the most confident person, they're still standing up in front of an audience and they're being vulnerable, I guess.
I'm really proud of what we achieved with them. I'm really proud of what they achieved in such a short space of time. I think for any group to be able to write, to learn it off, to perform it, you know, like in the space of time that was there, it's not long, but it was intensive, and they stuck with it.
I usually hang around with people that would never ever think about becoming actors. Them being around people like that, it's kind of like welcoming, because like you're doing something that you really like with people who like doing the exact same thing you like doing, and it's just a good feeling, it is.
I think the project pushed the young people into focusing on areas of their life that they wouldn't deal with in your mainstream services. The project allows a certain insight and a vulnerability as well to open yourself up, to examine yourself, to look at these self-limiting beliefs.
The strengths were, look, being able to come up the front and be confident enough to say things, and then look, that helps if like you're giving a speech in school or something and it's for a project, and then you have to put that into when you're older, because you're going to have to be standing up the top of a classroom or like a top of a big audience.
kids might think that the traditional route to get to college or, is to finish school and go on to university, but, the career guidance lets them, I suppose it gives them the chance to think about the other kind of routes.
I suppose we need to look at innovative, tailored responses to provide something extra in society away from mainstream opportunities, and look at reinventing young people's lives through artistic, creative projects, which allows for new energy and a new direction.